Hi ladies, today I wanted to share with you a little tutorial on how I make my roses. I made some of these roses for my Matchbox swap that I participated in with Gina, and I had a few people comment on how I made them, so I just wanted to show you really quick how I put them together. So just see if I can get that too. Here are some different roses that I've made. This one I put some Distress ink on the edges and watered it and kind of let it run down, kind of like to give it a watercolor look. This is just using some blue DCWB cardstock. It kind of has like texture on it. This one I did using some pattern paper. And this one here I made just using plain white cardstock, and I put glitter on it. So I just want to show you how I put my roses together. So these are what my petals look like before I start. And these petals here, I have Make the Cut software that I use with my Cricut. If you're not familiar with it, Make the Cut software is like the Scal, the SureCuts Scal software that's out there. So basically this software lets you create a whole bunch of cuts using pictures and drawings that you can cut with your Cricut. You don't just have to use your cartridges. So with Make the Cut software, I created this flower by using a circle and some rectangles and welding them together and kind of manipulating the shape and making it narrow at the edges. And it took some time to kind of lining them up and making sure that they cut and look semi-decent. So that's a file that I made. And then this is like, you can size this as large as you want or as small as you want. This is cut at 2 inches, and once you build your flower, I think it becomes like about 1.25 inches. This is the same cut, except I cut this at 1.5 inches, and when you make your flower, it comes out about 1.25 inches. So same cut, just like I said, just shrank down. I just want to show you how I put this together, and I don't use a whole lot of tools. Mainly my glue gun is a definite must. I like my glue gun because it dries quick and it gives it kind of a stability, if you will, versus the liquid glue. And then I use my Zig two-way pen as a, I guess, shape former. I use a pair of tweezers to fix my petals afterwards. So let me get started here. So there's 5 cuts here. I use 5 of these to make a rose. And for my very inner piece, which is this one right here, I like to take this and I use the butt end of this pen, and I just place the petal over it so it covers it like this. And then I just like to push at the base where these petals are, and just give it a good twist. And what that does, it softens the paper. And once I've done that, I just kind of pinch my, let me do it somewhere. You know, I really want this to, sorry, I'm trying to get in frame here. I want it to kind of take like a circular form, and so what I do is I kind of pinch that together, and that kind of gives me that center. Let's see if I can get it to focus. That center bud right there, and then I just set that aside. Then I take the second piece, and again I cup it. Just kind of give the pen a twist while I'm holding on to the paper, just to kind of soften that bottom. And then what I like to do is I like to make sure that my petals are overlapping each other And what I mean by that is, let's see how that one goes on top of that one, which goes on top of that one, instead of being kind of off like that. I like to have them all going the same direction. Probably don't have to, that's just the way I like to do it, so whatever works best for you. And so now you've got this little cup, and that's where I start my gluing. So I just take my glue gun and I put a drop of glue in there. Now you have to be careful. You could use the low temperature or the high temperature. I'm just using the high temperature because that's what I grabbed first. You could use the low temperature because this is paper, it'll still bond. But so you take that and you drop it in there, and then I just I like to hold it, and I might set it down. Let me see, there we go. Here, and then just and then let that dry. And then I start, so those are my first two from the top. Then I like to go to my bottom, and then I take a round tool. It could be a pen. I use my little pokey thing here, and I just like to kind of curl my petals. I forgot to mention, I did pre-ink the petals already after they were cut. I took my Distress inks and kind of went over the edges to give them a nice look. When you're using solid cardstock, it's not necessary if it's not a white core, but if it has white core, then you probably want to ink it, because then you're going to have these white edges. So basically what I did there was just just kind of curl up my petals, and then I go to the next one, and just really easily. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. So there we go. Just set those aside. So I like to do all three of them. Okay, so once my petals are all curled, then this should be dry, and I just start gluing it together. Sorry. So then I take this one and just kind of bring it over. You kind of want it cupped a little bit. It's up to you on how you like your flower to look, and just make sure it's centered as much as possible. So that's 3 layers now put together. Then I take my last 2 here, and I just like to make sure, so you've got this V, this V here, I like to offset my petals like that, and I just kind of like to do that with my pen, and then just kind of lift them up a little bit so they're not completely flat. And the nice thing is that the glue kind of keeps it that way. And like I said, you can do this however you want. So then this is my bottom 2 layers. That's what it looks like. And then I glue my last 2 pieces together. And then again, I offset my petals here so they're not all in the same direction. And then I just do my best to make sure it's straight and in the center as much as possible. And then you end up with something like that. These are like really thin, long tweezers. And I just start curling outward, sideways, just to kind of give it a nice look. Then I kind of alternate. On the next layer I go the other way. Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit more here. And I start curl this way. And then I just start working my way up to every layer. And then once you get closer to the center of the flower, then I start kind of curling down. and then just work my way around. And then that's when your flower starts to, the petals kind of start taking shape. And then you can do your inner ones a little bit too if you want. You can have them as open or as closed. I kind of like the very middle ones to be semi-closed, but I don't always get it to come out that way just because how it glues. Let's see. Come on, camera, focus. Okay, I think I'm too close. Okay, so anyways, that's what my flower looks like, and I suggest that if you want to glimmer mist these, that you glimmer mist the petals before, glimmer mist them and then heat dry them and then put the petals together. And then what I use for my leaves, I have these, it's called a 6-point star, that this I downloaded from the, if you have Make the Cut software, there's this gallery of shapes. And this is already there. And so what I like to do, I just kind of take my nail and kind of run it through the edges and curl it to give it that form. And then that becomes my leaf on the bottom. Just, you can make it as big as you want. I have it for it just sticks out slightly. You can't see it because it's light. Just so it sticks out slightly, nothing too much. You can cut other kinds of leaves or use Prima leaves or whatnot. So that's my tutorial for the roses that I make. It's very simple. This, like I said, this is a cut that I made, so if you're interested in the cut, I will find a, I'm trying to figure out how to email it, but I think what I'm going to do is I upload it to Make the Cut gallery. And once I do that and find out like what the name and how you can find it, I will let you know. So leave me a comment if you're interested. So thanks for watching, ladies, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.